Steve play a Kaplan Scheinwald style, which is 12 to 14 no trump with 5-card majors. And last I noticed, it was a pretty old-fashioned set of methods. I don't mean that pejoratively, but just very simple natural bridge. So we'll see how that fares against our artificiality. All right, so in our system, this unbalanced hand opens a diamond, which is either 5+ diamonds or 4-4-4-1. Not mentioned earlier, I think that one minor pass one major in our system usually shows the other major, but we actually don't do that by past hands. The theory being that in third or fourth seed, we want to open a diamond and pass one of a major. So here I am with my shape for the moment. I've got substantial extra values, but no convenient way to show them yet. And I think a lot of folks might reverse into hearts with this hand, but for me, that would guarantee at least 5 diamonds. And this hand's a little bit light anyway, with no 5-card suit, the singleton queen, reverse would be overbid. So here, I'm just kind of dogging it with 2 clubs, hoping to get another chance. But if it out, this could easily be our best contract. So I'm waiting for the dummy with some apprehension, but nope, it looks like. And so when I'm approaching playing a hand like this, I want to think to myself, well, dummy, set up my hand, or cross rough. And this looks like roughly like I want to set up the dummy because I can see that all of those spades will be potentially tricks for me. And so I want to conserve entries to the dummy and thus in hand and get started on the spade. 4-1, this hand is going to get very ugly for me. So I'm hopeful that that queen of clubs lead wasn't queen jack 10-4. But I feel like it's relatively unlikely just because South in the balancing seat might have found a bid with a low singleton club as a past hand. So I'm hoping that the deal is not going to kind of fall apart on me if the trumps are 4-1. All right. So let's see. Queen, king, 5-3. Actually, don't really know what their signals are. Adam's asking me what shapes I can have. I told him normal. Once I've shown an unbalanced hand, let me take a look at their convention cards, see if they have something posted here. See what they do. They play upside down, count, and attitude. So I just want to kind of take note of that 3 of spades. Looks like the spades are probably 4-4. Is there any advantage to playing low from the dummy? I can't really think of one because I'm going to try the queen, see if I can get the dummy. It's probably going to be covered by the king, but there wasn't much I could do about it in that case anyway. So, all right. I'm sort of sticking with my plan here. Case. It is queen jack 10-4, which it is. It's a little bit unfriendly for me. Now Steve threw away his highest spade. I feel like that's some sort of attempt to suit preference for spades rather, which means that Adam probably has the ace of diamonds, which I kind of expected anyway. Look, I think Steve with two aces and a singleton and the king of hearts would have balanced. So I want to see if I can dislodge Adam's diamond ace. So that's helpful because now I don't want him sort of drawing my trumps later in the play. Now, on the one hand, I've lost control because Adam has the last trump. On the other hand, he's got to follow to all these spades, and even if he did rough them, there's an excellent chance. Yes, Steve had the last heart, so Adam's going to be end play to diamonds for me, and so it all went well. All right, the dreaded Polish club.
So, Chris, can you tell us something about your opponents? I think we probably know who Adam Wildavsky is. Who's Stephen?
So Steve Nellissen is one of Adam's regular partners from the late 80s, early 90s, I believe. New York area player. Isn't really quite on the national scene as much as Adam. All right, so here, when the opponent's overcall, we actually treat one club much like a standard one club. So I'm gonna double, which is, we do, sorry, let me just take this alert in before I talk. So my double here is mostly a normal negative double. We do throw our weaker hands with 5 spades in this double as well. And my double, all of my actions here will be a little bit sounder than for a standard pair because the thought is that I'm usually facing 12 to 14 balanced. So if I don't think I want to play the contract opposite 12 to 14 balance, I would just start with a pass. So here, of course, I only have 6 high cards, but I do have the singleton heart. So it feels like my partner has 12 to 14, we belong contesting. And now my partner is kind of obligated to act here with one of the strong varieties. So he's sort of showing 12 to 14 balanced, if you will. And I don't have a huge opinion about the opening lead here, but I'm going to try trump. Seems like we have a lot of high cards. I don't really want to blow a trick on the opening lead. And if I sort of expect that declare would have a good chance to guess the queen third of hearts in my partner's hands, my partner has shown balance, so I'm not too worried about blowing up the trumps. So one interesting thing here is that we usually open a diamond with 12 to 14 balanced and 5-card diamonds. So it looks to me here like declare as 4+ diamonds. That might not be right, but it's not good news for me. So one thing I always like to do in this kind of spot is kind of count the points, right? If my partner has 12 to 14 balanced, we'll call it 13. I've got 6 is 19. Dummy has 15. So that can declare 6 points. I actually think, look, oh, this is very interesting. Ace of diamonds, my partner. Hard to say what's actually happening here. What is going on here? Is my partner ace queen 4 of diamonds, ace and a 1? Why didn't they underlead their ace of diamonds? They must have the queen or a all right. Well, I can't see any I can't see any tricks going anywhere. So I'm gonna try this and hope for the best. Maybe declare a 6-5. He did overcall vulnerable with what's known to be about a 6 count. So my partner shaded as 11. Nope, that's not what's going on.
Yeah, Thursday.
Whoever's talking, can you mute your microphone, please? All right, I'll pitch an encouraging club. And I'll just keep my length and spades. Partner should probably knows my count now. Should expect me to have 4 spades because I didn't pitch one. Doesn't look like this is our best defense. I think if Jan had just continued hearts, declare it was just going to be a trick short. Not quite sure what he's actually playing for there. All right, well, what am I going to do with this pile of junk now that my partner's overcalled the spade? I have 5 spades. I have some shape.
Some shape? Did you say spade? Some shape?
Some shape.
Some shape. So I think this feels just about right. I'm vulnerable against not. The king jack of hearts are kind of suspect. And one thing that we always want to consider when we're making a preemptive raise or trying to kind of interpret partner's preemptive raise is how likely is a weak raise to disrupt the opponent's auction. So here, the opponents have already found their fit. South is a limited hand. It's very unlikely that I'm going to be able to kind of mess them up. So in those kinds of auctions, we think of a preemptive raise as really sort of more descriptive. I'm showing some offense, I'm leaving the rest to partner. And again, ball not, I don't want to just throw out 4 spades here and go for 800. I might try that at some other vulnerabilities, but here the king jack of hearts and the lack of a singleton argue for some discretion. All right, well, that's interesting. Jan has led his trump. Looks like he has stiff king of spades, right? Because probably Jan with king, queen, or ace, king of spades would have led a high spade in preference to a trump. So I have that thought in my mind. And so we probably have got 1 spade, 1 heart, and we'll probably need to take 2 diamonds in order to beat the contract. So when I come in with the king of hearts, I'm probably going to be playing a diamond back.
Florida.
Because that's the suit that needs to be led from my side to get our tricks. Spades can be led from partner side since I have 5. Yeah, it looks like Jan has just figured out that he could have defeated the contract by returning a trump. Based on the chat. So Declare's spending an awful lot of time thinking here, which makes me think that he has some sort of interesting holding in clubs. Maybe he has a two-way guess in the suit. King 10-3 of clubs. 10-3, which would also be a guessing suit, although that doesn't seem super likely. It looks like he's got some points. It's hard to really figure out what he's thinking about. Because it just seems like such a natural play for him to play a trump back now. Maybe he has Queen-3 of clubs, something where he's trying to think about the handling of the club suit. Otherwise, again, it's just a very strange kind of tank. It's also possible that Declares 5-5 and hearts and diamonds and really doesn't have, despite the singleton spade, really only has 2 clubs. Maybe it's king and 1 club. So thinking about what to do. I'm going to give false count here just because I don't feel like I'm trying. Declare is about to, it looks like he's got ace king in another club. Yep. Okay. So he was in fact 5-5. So I'm going to discard an informative and discouraging jack of spades. So that's what it was. He's 5-5 or 6-4 or something like that. Next card I'm going to discard is remain count in spades, although I don't get to discard, I get to play. So the clubs are dead, right? Declare has an entry to establish them with a ruff, but no entry to then enjoy them. So I have to decide, can I afford to play spades here? And I'm a little worried. So let's say Declare, play a spade and Declare plays ace. The partner plays ace queen, Declare roughs it. Well, he's going to be kind of stuck in his hand leading diamonds. So I think I can just play a spade back here. Now, if Declare is 6-4, there's not much to do. Like he's probably 6-4. My partner is dying for diamond through. Fair enough, but Declare is going to have to play diamonds anyway. So no reason for me to break diamonds when Declare has to break them himself. All right. So the writing was on the wall for Declare once he didn't take a club finesse. And that was the reason I threw in that little false card. If Declare was watching the signals, he might notice that the deuce of clubs was missing and think, okay, well, someone gave upside down count and the clubs are 3-3. Or if declarer does believe that the clubs are 4-2, his only realistic chance to make the contract at that point is to finesse in clubs. And so I can see that if declarer had king third of clubs, right, he would have drawn trumps and then played on clubs. So he's going to play king ace in the club. So I don't need to signal to declare what I have. I only need to signal the partner what I have, and partner's going to find out soon enough when declarer tries to ruff the third club. So just little stuff like that is part of being a difficult opponent, not just kind of mechanically giving signals, but trying to think about who you're trying to help. I mean, you know who you're trying to help. We're trying to figure out who giving the signal will in fact help. All right, so Jan comes in with a 3 diamonds mixed raise, and I have certainly nothing extra. So here we are. And again, kind of, you know, is it a cross ruff? Which hand am I going to set up? And it seems pretty obvious to try to set up Jan's hand. So I'm going to win my hand, whatever they do, but try to play the ace the 8 to coax a cover. And now we come out with the diamond, with the club rather. Maybe they'll duck it. And if they win, maybe they'll not guess the right continuation. Just playing on general principles here. It seems like my ultimate plan is going to be to lead up a couple of times in hearts. Hopefully they won't put me to a spade guess. Probably they will put me to a spade guess. But this just feels like a natural start to the hand. Looks like 4-4 clubs. So that's interesting. Okay. Well, I don't like the way this is going. Yeah. 10 of hearts sure felt like the ace queen of spades. Nothing I can do about it. Good defense by them. And I can claim. There's nothing he can return to threaten me. It's always sad. You sort of buy it for 3 diamonds when you've got the 9-card fit, and then of course you look at the deal afterwards. The diamonds are 2-2, and all of the secondary honors we have are pulling their weight on defense. So it's the kind of deal where nobody makes anything. But such is life. Notice that Adam did, in fact, make a nice defensive play here of just returning the 10 of hearts with the 9 in dummy, just to make it clear. I really need a spade. I don't like hearts. That's sort of an attitude-ish card. All right, well, Jan and I seem to have support for each other on all of these deals. So how high am I going to bid on this one? And warts and all, 4-3-3, or favorable vulnerability. So I'm going to jack it up here. If Jan takes me seriously and saves against something, I do have all of my values in spades. So it won't be a terrible dummy. And it's the opponents aren't going to ever be able to double us when I have these good trumps, just because they can't see that I'm 4-3-3. So there's kind of a little bit of a poker concept here, in the sense that what matters isn't the actual hand to the opponents, isn't the actual hand I have, but rather the range of hands that I could have. So sometimes I'll have some shape, sometimes I'll be square, and they can't afford to double me in a part score at imps to find out. And another piece of this, I was talking on board 3 about how every time we're considering a preemptive raise, we want to think about, well, is this an auction where I can kind of mess the opponents up successfully? And here, my opponents are playing weak note trump, which is actually a pretty good system to preempt against when the opponents open one of a minor. So I know that Adam's 1 club opener is either going to be an unbalanced minimum with clubs, or it's going to be substantial extra high cards, strong no trump. And so I don't want to let him show Steve which of those it is. So I want to just kind of get it up there as fast as I can. Now here, of course, as usual, it looks like you know, their spades were 2-2, so they probably don't make anything. And actually, we made 10 tricks. I guess I didn't bid enough. But in all seriousness, sort of a pretty normal type of result. But notice that Adam did have an uncomfortable decision there. I certainly would not have gone as quietly as he did and passed 3 spades with such a good hand and 4-card heart support. Wouldn't have mattered either way, because if he had bid 4 hearts, he would have just gone down 1. So not too much consequence at teams. Oh boy. So I've got a hard decision to make potentially on this board. Ooh, that was unexpected. So I'm figuring Jan for something like ace, queen, jack, 7th of clubs. Feels like I should probably do something. Although 5 clubs is really a long way off. 4 spades is a wild shot. And double doesn't seem to really make sense since I only have 2 guaranteed tricks. So as unnatural as it feels, I guess it's going to be a pass. And I can't see any reason to, well, interesting. Can't see any reason to make a non-obvious lead, so here we go. And Jan and I play here that his deuce is natural encouragement. He could have given suit preference with some other cards. So he's, in theory, just wants another club. I'm just trying to think of whether that really makes any sense. So I don't think so. I mean, Jan's going to have a 7-card suit here to open. So I think what probably makes the most sense here is to try to make a trick for my 8 of hearts. So what I was thinking to do is to hope for Jan to have a doubleton spade and like the 9 and 1 heart. So to play ace and a spade, and then win my ace of hearts, and then give him a ruff with a 9 and promote my 8 into a trick. But that 10 of spades kind of looks like, well, it could be 3, it could be a singleton. I think what I'm going to do is play a club for now, and Jan can kind of tell me on this trick by whatever club he plays whether the spade is a singleton or not. So it looks like he's playing his lowest possible club. So he's telling me I don't have a stiff spade partner. So I'm just going to exit here. It looks like Declarer actually was 1-1, 8-3. And so hopefully Jan has like king third or queen third of diamonds. And we'll make a trick in the wash. In fact, I feel like that's definitely what's happening because Declarer hasn't claimed. He's not going to have king and queen because he would have opened one or two clubs, which shows a one bid. All right, that all worked out.
Sorry, Chris, do you know what the gray stuff we see on your right-hand screen? We can't see the hands and the scores.
Oh, looks like that's the Zoom window. Let me see. Is that better now?
No. Yeah, that's better now. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Now, as it turned out, cashing the ace of spades somewhat early was a necessary play, right? So if I had played on autopilot here, let's say played 2 rounds of clubs and won the heart and returned a heart, Declarer after drawing trumps could lead a spade towards the dummy. And when I won my ace, I'd be end played to, all right, it's a vulnerable game. I'm just going to bid this while I'm talking about it. I'd be end played to lead a spade or a diamond and give Declarer access to the diamond finesse. So here I was aiming for something different, but it ended up working out. Yeah, so here our raise of 1 spade to 2 is mildly constructive, and just at imps, I'm not going to mess around here. I'm not a big believer in game tries which end in 2 no trump or 3 of a major, right? Because vulnerable at imps, I'd rather be in a slightly subpar 4 spades, let's say 25% 4 spades, than I would to be in, you know, 75% 3 spades. There's more equity in the former. So, all right, I'll withhold a spot here. So again, you know, here it's sort of a, we'll see if they can figure it out. Probably they will. Jan had a hard hand to evaluate there. Hard to know how much those hearts are worth and how much the singleton's worth. Obviously, when we both have the same singleton, that's certainly duplication of values here. So the reason I didn't play my lowest spade is I want to make South's spade look high, like he's not asking for a club. Most people would play suit preference on that trick. But of course, Adam doesn't know. From Adam's perspective, South could have a singleton spade. He really has very little idea what's going on. This is why we really don't like game tries in this spot. I'm really hoping he has ace king third of spades and cashes the second spade to see what's going on and drops his partner's queen. That would be a nice start for me. It's kind of, he's probably thinking to himself, he probably doesn't really have a great idea of this is the hand. He's probably thinking to himself, do I want to play 3 rounds of spades and stop club roughs, but on the other hand, maybe Declarer will run the hearts. I think that South probably has the queen of spades. It's probably king from ace king doubleton or ace king third. And so Adam is probably cycling through a bunch of different possibilities, none of which are the hand I hold. So we'll see what he comes out with. As I said, I'm rooting for ace of spades next. My plan, if he plays a diamond to me or something like that, is to play another spade myself, and again, just hope for some sort of crash. The 9 of diamonds. All right, well, what can I do but play a spade? It was ace king doubleton, unfortunately. And now I think he has nothing left to do but play a club. He's seen the trick go 9 of diamonds, low king ace. So, all right. Now I can claim down 1. Let's see if I can find the claim button here, because now this other thing. All right. All right. So here, I get to open my Polish club. So in theory, when I have a long spade hand like this, I'm supposed to have 18 plus. Obviously, this hand's a substantial upgrade. I'd probably call it, even though it's 17 high cards, the good suit plus all the aces and kings, I'd probably call this about 20. So that's what I'm gonna eventually show here. So my partner showed 8 plus with 4 or more hearts. And so now I'm gonna 2 spades, and we'll be in a game force. I'll show. So 5 plus spades, 8 plus high cards. And now we just actually bid naturally here. Now, Jan and I do not play much fast arrival. So if he continues with 2-0 trump here, I have the option to jump to 4 spades, which would show really excellent spades like what I have. The question is, would that be, and it'd be invitational to slam. I've already shown 18 plus. If I'm showing a big spade suit, inherently that's invitational to slam. But there it is. That's the question is that an underbid or not? So if he has something like queen of clubs, ace of hearts, queen of diamonds, I haven't made anything yet. So it feels like just a slam try is right. So that's what I'm going to do. So basically what I'm telling Jan in our methods is that, hey, if you're thinking about a slam, you can put down the stiff deuce of spades as support, and that's fine. Just look at your other cards. Do you have a good hand? Do you have aces and kings? That's what I need. So that feels just right here. So 5 hearts is a cubid. It denies club and diamond controls. So that's interesting. It actually makes me think this could be a 7 hand because he must have the ace of spades and the ace of hearts, right? If he has no control in clubs or diamonds. And so if he has ace, queen, jack, 4th of hearts and the ace of spades, that's 7-no trump. Now, this would be it. What I'd really like to do here is bid 6 hearts, saying, hey, you denied these controls. I'm the ace of clubs and the ace of diamonds. I'm looking for 7, so I have both of them. Plus, by the way, I have a heart cubid. But I just feel like there's some risk of that being misinterpreted. The problem is if I cubid, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cubid 6 clubs, just trying to be practical. Hopefully he'll figure out that I have the ace of diamonds also, since he denied a diamond control. If I'm trying for 7, I really have to have both minor suit aces. And if he's really interested in 7, he doesn't seem to be interested in 7. I was hoping he could sort of psych a cubid of 6 diamonds and let me show my king of hearts if he really needed it. Now, when I say psych, he's denied a diamond control, so it wouldn't really be psychic. He could just sort of invent a bid there if he was dying to hear me cubid 6 hearts. So we'll see whether we got how we did here. All right, we did fine. He almost had the hand I was worried about. As it is, it's a reasonable 7 on that lead because we would make, he has 2 ways to play, but I think what he's just going to do is run all his tricks. Well, maybe not. I don't know what he's going to do. Well, I guess he's in 6. He doesn't. What he's going to do is draw trumps and make sure there's no accidents on the way to his 12 tricks. But Jan is always, he's a very kind of careful technical player, so he's definitely sitting there thinking about, you know, can I get an over trick out of this thing? Oh, nope, guess not. I take it back. He's not a careful technical player on this end. He asked the cards are 3-3, and now he's claiming. That's how I would have played it. I'll have to ask him after we're done what he would have thought of 6 hearts there. But there is a good sort of general point, which is don't try to make a perfect bid if your partner won't understand it. better to make an imperfect bid that your partner will understand. All right. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to bid. I'm close to an invitational jump to 2 spades here, kind of showing 9 to 11. Maybe I should have done that. We'll find out after we see the dummy, I guess.
Chris, on the previous hand, you said you were worried about Jan having ace, queen, 5th of hearts.
I was worried about like ace, queen, jack, 4th of hearts, and the ace of spades, because when he's getting past game without any control in either minor, there's not that much left for him to have. He's kind of marked with the 2 aces. He's likely to have the queen of hearts as well. So I was just worried about 13 rivers. It's interesting, actually, just as this is a totally random side note, but I think South would have been squeezed in the reds if he'd chosen to lead the other king queen. All right. So anyway, I get another chance here. So now here, it's important to know that my auction denies a 5th spade, right? My partner doubled the diamond. So if I have 5 spades, it's my job to get us the spades. So usually I'm going to have 4 spades and 5 clubs here. Occasionally it could be 4-4, but those hands would often just defend. Yeah. So partner supposed to pass with equal length. So I'm kind of expecting him to have 4 card spades here. Now I wonder what to make of the opponent's auction. Does Adam have diamonds, or does he have no trump? Well, all right. So it's interesting. So looks like hearts are 4-4. The queen of diamonds looks like a root now, so I'll just kind of see whether he shows up with an unbalanced hand with diamonds or the 15 points. They play upside down, so I'm going to withhold some spot cards and diamonds, right? A good general rule there as declarer is to signal what you want using the opponent's methods. So here, I do not want a diamond continuation. So I discourage diamonds using their method, upside down. I put my highest diamond. So that makes South's 9. I mean, it didn't really take much work on my part to make the 9 appear high. But let's say South had the singleton 6 or something like that and produced it. If I play, now when I play my 8, North may well think that the 6 is from 6-4 too. So we can kind of reason through it in that long-handed way, but the short-handed way is simpler and works just as well. It's just know your opponent's signals and, you know, encourage or discourage depending on whether you want a continuation using their defensive methods. It looks to me like Adam has 5 diamonds and 4 hearts, or maybe 4x1 or something like that. I think probably 5 diamonds and 4 hearts at a minimum. But we'll see. We'll see what the story is. If he has 15, if he has 12 to 14, he would have opened one no trump. And if he had 15, it's kind of hard for South to have dredged up a bid vulnerable against that. Right. We've got 19. There we go. All right. So now I still have to make a plan here. And again, you know, which hand do I want to kind of set up? Is it going to be a cross rough? I think I am going to play a cross rough. That seems like just the safest line for 8 tricks, and so I have to decide where to win. Probably doesn't really matter where I win, but I will win in hand because I think that 2 low heart roughs in my hand are basically 100% certain to win. Just gonna kind of go back and forth here. I probably would have gotten a little bit more involved at match points. I might even have just taken a heart finesse. All right, so once these low roughs pass off without incident, I can claim 3 more tricks on a high cross rough. And that is that. I did have a strong no trump after all. South really, really scraped one up there. I guess maybe playing weak no trumps, you have to really aggressively protect against your partner having that 15 to 17 balanced. That's one of the reasons I don't like the method, is that in competition, it can often be tricky. All right.
Chris, part of your hand's obscured by the Zoom window.
Oh, sorry about that.
I think you can minimize it entirely.
All right, let's try that.
Yeah, that's better.
So here, Jan's opened with a Polish club. They've overcalled the spade, and Jan and I used transfers after this auction, so I don't have a natural raise to 2 clubs available. My cheapest club bid is 3 clubs, which actually would show, you know, something like this in terms of values, but would typically deliver a 6th club or at least some shape, because Jan can easily have 2 little clubs with his 12 to 14 balanced. So I'm kind of forced to pass. I guess I could have bid a no trump. That'd be possible also. But I hate to bid a no trump. At match points, I probably would have scrounged up a no trump, but here I hate to potentially wrong side it if Jan does have a big hand and we belong in 3-0. So it's not so much that I'm worried about and I have to decide what to do. All right, I think I'm going to give it a little compete here. So it's not so much that I'm worried that they're going to take the first 5 spade tricks against 1 no trump, because that's fine. Maybe I'll manage to take 7 of the next 8. It's more that if we're going to play 3 no trump and Jan has something like ace and 1 spade, I really want him to be the declarer. So at imps, when we're vulnerable, we're always thinking about kind of getting to game and getting to game from the right side. So I don't want to hurt my chances. Huh. Well, we found our fit. I was a little bit worried here. If I knew Jan was going to lead a club, I would have passed out a no trump, but all right, so Jan leads the king of hearts, which for us is king, queen. I need to make sure here that he doesn't continue hearts into declare as ace jack. We play upside down signals, so I'm just going to throw my 10 of hearts out there. Possible the 6 could be misread. Declare ducks from ace jack 3rd. Personally, I think Jan probably has king queen jack 4th, but it's hard to know. So here, some might think that playing the 10 of hearts is dangerous, but if declarer has ace jack 9 of hearts, my 10 would be a dead duck anyway if declare wins. So Jan knows, of course, that he can duck this club and get me in. I'm actually going to do a little false card here in clubs, because I feel like if I win the king, maybe they'll think I have ace king or something like that. I really hope Jan could figure out to cash his ace of spades and play a diamond now. That would be a really good play for me. Not liking the way this is going. Oh, he didn't have the ace of spades to play, which is why he didn't catch the ace of spades and play a diamond. All right, so there wasn't anything we could do there. So it's kind of a neutral event whether I balanced or not. If I had passed out a no trump, they take 8 tricks, 5 diamonds, a heart and 2 spades for 120 against 130. This would have been a lot more interesting if we were playing match points. All right, I'm gonna do something a little unpopular here. I think most people would open this hand with something, but this is actually kind of a bad hand for our methods. I have to start with 2 club opening, which shows a minimum opening bid. And partner would often be go looking for a 4-4 major suit bid, and then I'd have to show diamonds, and we'd often be kind of in the stratosphere. So I just go low. Which was a good decision on this day. So Jan, I would have had to show 11 to 15 with clubs, and Jan would have looked for a 4-4 major suit fit. And we would have ended up in 3 clubs, which looks like 2 down. All right, so look straightforward here to bid my spades. Jan's 2 clubs guarantees a major in our system. It certainly appears likely it's spades, so I want to kind of find the fit right away in case he wants to go slamming. I have a pretty good hand. Maybe he'll bid anything he bids there would set spades as trouble, because we know he doesn't have hearts. So spades are fit. So he could have tried for slam. He had the right hand for it. I actually would have been tempted to try for slam with his actual hand.
You almost bid 3 spades. What would have it shown?
So 3 spades would be 5 spades and a maximum. I realized that I didn't need to do it because since I was sort of known to have a spade fit on the auction, there was less of a need to kind of show the 5th spade right away. And possibly preempt our own auction if it was a slam auction. So let's say that South had passed over 2 clubs. One hand that I might be worried my partner would hold is sort of a garbage stamen type of hand where he's basically just planning to pass two of a major. And obviously, opposite a lot of hands like that, my hand is so powerful that it could be a game, right? If he's got as little as, king fourth, four little, singleton, queen fourth. I have an excellent play for four spades. So I was thinking to bid three spades, but here I realized, well, you know what? My partner doesn't have a garbage game in hand. I've got hearts. And if he does, things are probably breaking pretty crappy around the table. But it looks like he doesn't have that, so I'll just, show the fit below level. All right. Good job, Jan, not getting us too high. Although, had he tried for slam, I would have cooperated but not driven, because I could sort of tell from the bidding with the opponent's vulnerable and having no high cards that he had a stiff heart. So I could tell that my king of hearts was not a great slam, but he kept life simple. Ooh. I feel like I always have the spades, which is a good way to play bridge. What happened? Oh, I see. All right, here comes the Polish club again. And this hand I'm going to treat as a game force. Right, if my partner has two little, three little, four little, four little. I have a good play for game. Whoa, partner's got a positive. So we don't do the switch majors here since it's a passed hand. Now we're in a game force at the one spade level. This is a good start for us. And again, we're just bidding naturally once we have the game force established here. I think this is the plan. Same idea as before. I'm showing that I can play a spade slam opposite a low singleton spade. And of course, I do need some cooperation from partner. Not a ton, but I think now, having shown a slam try with good spades, and partner being a fast hand, I'm going to leave it to him. Oh, computer's running down on battery here. Let me in. I really need him to be able to pretty much get excited here.
What has partner shown exactly so far?
He is shown. You usually have an unbalanced. He's 8 to 11 with 4+ hearts and 4+ diamonds. Usually he wouldn't be 4-4. He's usually going to be 4-5 or 5-4. Feels like he has a singleton spade. So 4 diamonds, I think here is just a control bid for spades. That's how I'm taking it. It feels like 4 diamonds double. Okay. All right, I'm going to pass that around to my partner and see what he wants to do. It feels like spades are trump here. So I think 4 diamonds denies a club control, interested in the spade slam. My pass, assuming we're on the same wavelength, says I have a club control, right? You've denied, because I would sign off in 4 spades with no club control. Okay. Now this is interesting. So my partner redoubled to show the diamond ace specifically. I also know he doesn't have wastage in diamonds, but I think I'm just going to give him one more little try and leave it to him. I'm hopeful that I do have a lot of losers for him to cover, so I could miss a slam on 3-2 trumps here. Maybe
more effort. Can you make an effort over 4 spades?
Well, I could, but I think I've done enough, and I don't want to get to the 5 level and go down. So this, I think I mentioned earlier in the session that I don't like game tries that end up in 2-no trump or 3 of a major. Similarly, I do not like slam tries that end up at the 5 level. So basically, if I was going to bid more than 4 spades, I'd probably just drive to slam. Because the problem is, when you get to 5, you risk going down on a bad break, and there's no corresponding upside. So again, it's roughly the same equity to play a 25% slam as it is to play a 50-55, right? So oftentimes when you kind of stop on a diamond 5, you're not actually increasing your equity anyway. But here, I think, okay, well, if partner has a stiff spade and king, queen of hearts and ace of diamonds, maybe I'll miss a slam on 3-2 trumps or something like that. But I do need, mostly I need a maximum passed hand of good high cards from him. And so I want him to feel free to cooperate with me a little bit with a reasonable hand and not feel like I'm going to bury him. So I think I did enough bidding. I jumped to 3 spades. And continue to cooperate.
Sorry, could he have 3 small king of hearts, 2 small club, and 4 diamonds to the ace?
No.
Well, oh boy. That's quite the hand for me. He would have raised spades, I would think, with 3-card support. I think Jan was a little bit conservative here. Queen in 1 spade, pretty enormous holding, but I also was a little conservative. So, all right, I'm not going to mess around too much. Just a trick here. I think he sort of got a little fixated on the queen of diamonds. Queen of 1 spade, that was most unexpected. From my perspective is I didn't really know about the Doubleton Club. He could have been, this hand would have worked out better if I hadn't jumped to 3 spades, as it turned out. Because he would, if I just simply rebid my spades, he would have raised spades, and now I would have been able to sort of drive the hand. But I would have wanted him to be able to sort of make the same cooperation with Queen Jack fourth of hearts and two little spades. That'd also be a pretty good dummy for me with the, you know, that support. I don't want to get to slam on that hand, obviously. Or with one spade and three clubs. All right. Well, my partner's got his 12 to 14 balanced. Let's see what happens. Maybe I have a long poking in a little two club bid here. Although it sort of looks like my partner has a lot of major suit cards since they haven't found a fit yet. And they've bid all the other suits, so I'm quite likely to get a club lead, which is what I want against one no trump. Uh-huh. Looks like partner has king, queen, 10, fourth of spades. And four hearts. So he's some sort of 4-4-3. He probably has a double club. Because Declare probably wouldn't raise diamonds. Oh, no, partner has ace queen. Oh, that was not our best lead. All right. So I can give Smith echo here to say that I like the spade lead. I don't actually like it, but I do have the jack of spades to show him. So what are the points? Looks like has. All right, I better discourage these diamonds, even though I have the king, because I don't want setting them up. Well, now I don't worry about it because Declare killed his entry. Interesting. All right. I was not expecting the queen jack fourth of hearts over there. Come on, tell a partner. Come on, just play anything that's not a heart. You're okay. He should have a decent read on the points. He knows that Adam has I see. I had the hearts totally wrong. It's very strange to me that Adam was playing hearts instead of diamonds, but I guess all roads led to the same 7 tricks. I was totally snookered about everything. Nice imaginative queen of spades lead from Jan, I think. Probably his best chance to beat the hand is to find me with something like ace jack fourth of spades. All right, on to the next. So this is an easy takeout double, too weak to overcall a no trump, obviously, too strong to pass throughout. And we'll see what develops. Now, Jan and I played this jump as, I wouldn't quite call it preemptive, but it's less than invitational. So he's just going to have 5+ hearts, less than invitational, you know, some hand that was going to compete to 3 hearts anyway. And on these auctions, we just bid it directly, kind of put the opponent under some pressure. It's always harder for the opponents in competitive auctions if you bid immediately to your total.
Why do you call this an easy double of one club with no majors?
Because, you know, in the modern game, people open light, they respond light, and if it goes a club and I pass and the next hand bids a spade, my partner can be sitting there with 12 points and 5 hearts, and we might never get into the bidding. Just in the modern game, since people are opening light and responding light, when we have a good hand with at least 3 cards in each major, we just kind of have to get into the auction. So if I had a 12 count with this shape, I wouldn't double. So obviously we're sort of subtracting. I'm going to give soup preference for hearts here on this obvious singleton lead, or likely singleton lead. I'll give soup preference for hearts again. So I want to borrow an entry to my partner's hand if possible. That's why king of hearts as opposed to a low one. All right, can't see any reason. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what's going on in the suit, but can't see any reason not to just duck for now. Now, hopefully, now when I win my club, I want to play a heart to partner. And hopefully, declarer will actually think that when I switch to the king of hearts, I have king queen. So now I'm going to play a low heart over to partner's hypothetical jack. Ah, darn it. Hopefully, my partner is going to win the jack and lead a low diamond, put declarer on a guess. I guess still here, declarer has to guess the diamonds himself. He doesn't have enough pitches. So maybe that false card will, not that it was exactly a false card. I was just trying to get out of my own way and maybe pin a singleton queen in declarer's hand, but hopefully that'll come in handy.
Nice defense, Chris.
Well, you know, didn't end up mattering too much. But notice that the opponents really did have a problem as a result of the, all right, I'm going to upgrade this to a no trump with a good 5-card suit and positional values and all 4 suits here. Notice that they did have a problem in the bidding. South had a lot of high card points, but not that many spades. So they sort of compromised with the 3 spade bid. In fact, game was a pretty reasonable contract. Whew, that's really nice. Now, meanwhile, though, I'm not going to super accept here, right? Because even though I have 5 trumps, I do have 14 high. If my partner can't make a game try, it's hard to imagine we're going to make a game. And one thing that's also underappreciated is that when you have a balanced hand like this, the 5th heart is not always an asset. It can weirdly be a liability. Because if I were 4-4-3-2 instead, let's say I had ace queen 10-4 of spades and ace 10-4 of hearts, I might well be able to use my spades to pitch losers from partner's hand. So anyway, all of that's academic now. My partner's 3 club bid here is a game forcing with hearts and diamonds. So I'm just going to set the trumps here. It's actually hearts and diamonds, and usually he's not going to have a stiff club. He could bid 3 diamonds to show hearts, diamonds, and a stiff club. So that's even better for my hand. If he has a stiff spade, that's my hand fits with the singleton spade well. So what do I need for a slam, right? Obviously, a partner signs off in 4 clubs. Okay, so it looks like he's probably 5-4-2-2 because he didn't control it in spades. So normally we play that transfer when he bids a new suit here at shortness, but he could have bid 3 diamonds the first time. So I think he's just Q-bidding. I think, what do I want to do here? If he has like 2 little spades and ace and a club and king, queen of hearts and the ace of diamonds, that's roughly 50% slam. That's really not that much. I'm going to overbid a little bit and just bid Blackwood. It's not really clear how much this hand is actually worth. The 5th heart could be, ooh, so that's good for me. He doesn't have the trump queen, so my 5th heart was worth something. I didn't get the chance to figure it out until I actually bid key card. So it's not totally clear, sort of an overbid, but now I feel much more comfortable about it because I now have a 16 count instead of a 14 count, right? Because my 5th heart is now the queen, right? That doesn't work so well as a valuation method when your partner also has the queen. Oh,
yeah, the king. Interesting.
That's interesting. I don't know why he didn't bid 3 spades, but all right. So meanwhile now, oh, this is our last hand, I guess. Okay. Which safety play to make? So I can run this and I'll lose to 6-1 clubs. Or I can go up ace. There. I'll take the percentage play. That's very sad. All right, couldn't go down. I think he's supposed to bid 3 spades with this, but it all worked out. All right. I hope you all enjoyed watching. If anyone has any cleanup questions, I'm happy to take them for a couple of minutes now.
What was Tudo Trump B? Would that be forcing?
If
Two hearts?
by partner, that would have shown clubs. We play a sort of secondary transfers. So 2-0 for clubs, 3 clubs for diamonds. And kind of the rationale for that is we usually, if there's a balanced hand facing an unbalanced hand in all bridge auctions, you'll come out ahead in the long run if the unbalanced hand describes its holding to the balanced hand. So the balanced hand can then see whether it's high cards or cover cards. So any transfer mechanism naturally provides, in addition to kind of saving space with the transfer, it naturally provides for the person who is transferring to do more describing, right? They're gonna, their partner accepts the transfer, they make the next bid. So here we like the idea of Jan being able to kind of transfer and then make a third bid to kind of show his shape. Transfer, then retransfer, then bid again. So his 3 clubs is roughly equivalent to a natural 3 diamonds, but I will break with hard support.
Thank you.
All right, thanks everybody. Good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. That was great.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks.